I've been talking more about my finance channel, and if you want to check my thoughts completely on that, go there. But I'm just here to summarize it. Okay, so that bank went under. He had Signature Bank went under as well, or they shut it down. Okay, so there wouldn't be a disaster situation, and it was tied to crypto. And they invested in securities that have taken a beating, treasury bonds. Okay, at my day job, what I have to do is I have to reconcile regarding T-bills, T-bonds, etc. Going between exchanges. It's fast moving, especially right now with what's going on in the markets. So now someone will be like, okay, how could you tie this into sports cards? Well, that's a good question.
Welcome back to EDI Sports Cards. So, yeah, that was the beginning of this video because that guy, AIH, has over 2,000 subscribers. Who are the idiots watching this guy? You people are dumb. I'm calling you out. You're stupid. He's probably the guy that you're taking advice from and you're losing money. He's losing money. He's even said it on his channel. I'm losing money. I bought Ja Morant. I bought Zion Williamson. He's bought everything that's lost money. So are you. Stop doing that. If you haven't been watching Sports Card Radio lately, the live streams every Thursday, I have not actually gone in on the live stream. I've been catching it on Fridays. You guys need to be watching that because they're really hitting home runs. I have to tell you folks, they're hitting home runs. So Dibs, if you're not aware, Dibs was a company that Jeff Wilson invested in. Again, because he's a tech investor. He's also a sports card investor who loses a lot of money. And Dibs, which I actually answered in this YouTuber Questions Answered, was on fractional card market. And just to call it out. So Dan the Card Man also said, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Folks, I'm telling you right now, fractional card market is the dumbest idea ever. It is a complete scam. The NFTs are a complete scam. Now, is there a market? Is there something you can use with NFTs? Yes, you can use NFTs as a marketing gimmick, but it is not worth anything. Anyone that's buying an NFT, hey, I have a bridge to sell you. I've like you all know, if you buy and hold, you're a collector. If you collect more than 10,000 cards, you're a hoarder just like me. I've got plenty of cards that I'm willing to sell you. So so you can buy them. Absolutely. Because if you're putting money in NFTs, you're dumb enough to buy whatever comes your way because you're an idiot. And I don't know what else to tell you. Stop buying NFTs. Stop buying fractional cards. Stop. There's no such thing as investing. Stop it. Just end the conversation. You can buy and sell cards. That's the hobby. You can collect cards if you like cards. If you don't like cards, that's fine as well. There's a place for you in the hobby. If you just want to buy cards and sell cards to make money, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know where any of these dumb people are coming from that hate flippers and oh my God, you people are insane. Stop. I don't know what else to tell you. I've been doing this for 40 years. I started as a dealer when I was a teenager. That's all I did was buy and sell cards. I got into collecting because my dad was a huge collector and he appreciated the cards, but he also appreciated the sports behind the cards, which I don't think any of you guys actually care about the sports. SCR talks about, all of you folks are obsessed with pictures of men on cards. You guys are. You're obsessed with pictures of men on cards. I'm a photographer. I've been taking photos for over 30 years. In fact, probably longer than that, because I actually started taking photos when I was like 9 and 10 years old. So, and I mean real photos, because back then there were 35 millimeter cameras, not digital cameras, 35 millimeter cameras, and I learned how to actually develop your own film. So I did that at the Y when I was like 10. So I used to go every day after school to the Y and take a photography class with I guess not really a teacher because it's the Y, with a person that was a photographer, and we'd go out and we'd take photos, and then we'd go into the dark room, and then we would process the photos. We would develop them, and we would go through that process. My whole point is that what are you guys doing? Stop throwing away your money. Like, the whole reason I started this channel was because there's just so much garbage on YouTube. Literal garbage. So there is an entertainment value, absolutely. Is Jeff Wilson, does he create good videos? Well, production value, yes. The content is really horrible lately. Like, and no one's watching. Like, he may have like 200,000 subscribers, but he's not getting views anymore. I don't know if you guys realize that, but I've looked at his view counts and he's getting no views. In fact, the people that are getting all the views are Sportscard Radio. They're the ones that are getting most of the attention. They're getting most of the viral stuff, like, because they're the ones that are putting out actual content. It's factual, and I am very happy with the fact that they are not amping things up beyond what it should be. Like, they used to do that like 6 to 12 months ago. They used to just get a little personal, and I just kind of was a little offended by it. It was like, you don't need to be personal. Like, just report the news. You're Sports Card Radio. You've been doing this for like 15 years. Like, just report the news. That's it. You don't have to go one step further and call people names, and like, I just didn't think that was smart. But that's their shtick. That was what they did. But now they're doing something completely different. And I think that you guys should be watching that because it's something good. There's plenty of room in the hobby for everyone, including you. There's plenty of room. So pick the cards that you like. Pick the manufacturer you like. You like Topps. You like Panini. You like Bowman. You like Upper Deck. Who do you like? It doesn't matter. Whatever you like is the whole point. Collect the sports that you like. If you like F1, that's great. If you like golf, if you like baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, it doesn't matter. Whatever you like is what you should collect. Stop worrying about what other people think these cards are worth, because I'm telling you right now, when you try to go sell them, you're not going to get the money back. A lot of people on the live stream on SCR, and I'm just going to say this very clearly, a lot of people were very, very upset at Card Collector 2 because what they claim is that he pays 50 to 60% of comps and then sells the cards to you guys at comps. And you're upset. Well, you don't have to sell to him if you don't want to sell. The people that are selling to him want the cash. And what you guys need to understand is that if you want the cash, you're not going to be able to sell at comps. Oh, did you not know that? So the guy at the beginning of this video, AIH, I don't know where he's selling any cards. Just so you're aware, I haven't seen any receipts of him selling any cards. He has book value in a spreadsheet where he makes up numbers that the cards are worth. He makes them up. Again, you guys are making up numbers based on previous sales that aren't your cards. This isn't a house. You can't do comps that way. You legitimately can't do comps that way because you have no market. And I've talked about that on all of the videos here on this playlist, basically, of can you invest in sports cards? And I've explained to you there's no market. So you can't go somewhere and say, this is worth $1,000. I want my $1,000, please. Doesn't work that way. You don't have a tangible asset. That's what would make this an investment. There is no way to do fractional cards. There is no way to legitimately do fractional cards. Anybody that comes to you with this dumb, fake scam idea, run. Run. Or call the FBI. These are scammers. Do not listen to them. There's one way to do this hobby. You buy a card and you hold the card. If you don't want to hold the card because you're not a collector, sell the card. That's it. Buy, sell, collect. Those are the three things that you can do. If you don't want to do that stuff, then don't get in the hobby. Again, I've got plenty of commons that you guys could have. They're worth, some of the 60s commons are going on eBay for like $3 to $10. You want them for $1.50? I'll sell them to you for $1.50. That's 50% of comps. And in some cases, that's less because some of them, again, are going for $10 per common, depending on the common. So, and I'm willing to sell them for $1.50. I can't sell them. Like, none of you can sell your cards. Go ahead, try to sell them. Go ahead, try to sell them. You're going to have a hard time selling your cards. And that's why I like what's going on at Sports Card Radio, because they're actually showing like how you actually have to sell cards. Now they got a problem, which I think they kind of highlighted that in their last live stream, which is what do they do when these companies become insolvent, like Dibs? So if you bought fractional cards, you're toast. You're done. If you bought, if you had money in alt, you're done. Like, all of these companies are not, like, you need to check the fundamentals, which apparently, again, AIH claims that he's in finance. I don't know what his credentials are. He doesn't put down his credentials in the screen. He doesn't say that I'm just giving entertainment, advice. He doesn't say that at all. He's saying I'm giving you investing advice, which, again, anybody that knows anything about investing knows that you can't do that. That's why this channel has nothing to do with investing. Nothing to do with investing. I only talk about buying, selling, and collecting cards. That's it, because that's all you can physically do. That's what you can legally do. The minute you start talking about investments and things are going to go up and things are going to go down, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You own a rare card, a truly rare card, which is like hardly any cards in the hobby, like legit hardly any cards. You got the Honus Wagner for the T206 Honus Wagner, and you've got the Mickey Mantle 1952, and you've got like a couple other like a PSA 10 Nolan Ryan, which again, there's some controversy about whether or not PSA has, maybe finagled the PSA 10 market. Like maybe there are PSA 9s that could be PSA 10s, but they refuse to make them 10s. Like, I mean, there's some shady stuff going on at PSA, and PSA has never really explained their grading policy. Like SGC at least has been transparent with, we do the four main things. We do surface, we do corners, we do, centering. That's only part. Like they said, they have 15 pieces, like 15 different criteria for grading their cards. So, I mean, that means that there's a lot more to it than just, it. So a 10, an SGC 10, at least I feel that there's some trust there that if it's an SGC 10, it's a legit 10. If it's a 9.5, it's a legit 9.5. I felt that way with Beckett back in the day, although Beckett now is just toast. Again, all you guys, these companies are gone. I know Beckett's still around, but who grades with Beckett anymore? Like, seriously, who grades with Beckett? So you've got two main players. You got PSA and you got SGC. Because what's the criteria for grading at any of these other companies? And I haven't done a video about grading because I don't really know exactly how to cover grading, because it's not as simple as you guys think it is. Like when you send your card in for grading, like you're sending your card in with thousands of other people. So the Derek Jeter rookie card is a perfect example. There's like 2,000 PSA 10s. 2,000. And PSA 9s, there's like 50,000 PSA 9s. 50,000. That's not a rare card. I don't know what you guys want. Like, that's not a rare card. The Mickey Mantle 1952 that all of you guys like to put in the comments on my videos, like, well, but if you had bought that card. Again, the story is, this is a real story. My father could have bought that exact 1952 Mickey Mantle card for $48,000. Because again, that was back in the 80s and no one was paying that kind of money for a card. You would be insane. You would be insane. And you should be thinking the same way today. If you pay $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 for a card, that's not rare. It's just not rare. So the PSA Michael Jordan, which had just sold for $130,000, remember, at the height, went for $700,000. So the person that paid that amount of money was an idiot. They were a fool, or they didn't care. Like, just had money and they were like, I don't care. Here's $700,000. I don't need it. I don't need it. Right? You don't need $700,000, right? Most of my viewers need $700,000. If you could have $700,000, would you sink it into a card right now? I'm asking AIH. AIH, if you had $700,000, would you buy sports cards because you think it's an investment? I don't think so, because if you did, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I'm calling you an idiot. You and your Cubs thing, whatever, I don't care. You're an idiot. Come to New York, you're an idiot, because you're an idiot. Calling you an idiot. AIH, you're an idiot. I don't know what credentials you have for finance, but you know nothing about finance. Nothing. You do spreadsheets. That's great. You reconcile checks and T-bills. That's wonderful. You're an idiot. You're not an economist. You don't understand banking. You don't understand the economy. You don't even understand finance. Because you can't invest in sports cards. Because if you do, you're going to lose money. Just buy the cards you like. I am taking a whole bunch of cash to the card show next weekend, this coming up weekend, because I'm looking to buy. I'm hoping that dealers want to make a deal. I'm hoping. I'm going to pay what I'm comfortable paying for the card. Based on comps, yes, I'm going to pay what I'm comfortable paying. It doesn't matter. I don't care if the card goes up or it goes down. These are cards for my collection. It's a collection. It's what I care about. So I want certain cards to make me feel like, oh, I am building something that I can appreciate. Like, if it costs X amount of dollars, it costs X amount of dollars. It's just the way it is. And if it's out of my price range, it's out of my price range. And some dealers understand that. Like, okay, the card's too expensive. And we just walk away. It's not a personal thing. Some dealers get real personal about their pricing. Like, well, this card is, listed for this. And I'm like, okay. What would you like me to do? So you want me to give you that kind of money? I'm not going to do that. Well, but it's listed for that. Okay, well then you seem to think someone's going to buy it for that price. But you've been holding on to that card for 2 years. Because I know some of the dealers, I've seen them at the show, and I see the same card. It's still sitting in their case 2 years later. Yeah, but it's listed for this price. Well, then you don't want to sell it. That's fine. Like, just say, like, I'm not interested in selling the card. I did set up as a dealer. I paid for the table. I paid for transportation. I paid for my case. I paid for all of this stuff. So I'm in like a couple $1,000s into this show, and I don't want to sell cards. I'm not interested in selling cards. This is what it's listed for, so you either give me the money or I'm just going to take it home with no cash in my pocket. I used to do shows when I was a teenager. I'm telling you right now, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Dealers would come over to me and they thought they could take advantage of a teenager. They really did. Back in the day, you want to talk about scammy people, the dealers and all the show, they'd be like, oh, there's a young kid. We're going to take advantage of him. And they'd come in and they would be like, well, this is what book value is. And then this is what, so we're dealers. We got to resell it. And so we'll give you this. And I'd be like, again, these guys were idiots. So I would do the numbers in my head and I'd be like, well, you know what? Well, if you want the dealer discount, why don't we do this? Why don't I'll sell you this case, this lot of cards, so like 10, 15 a card, like the superstar, whoever they wanted. And I'm like, and I also want you to take one of these. So I would bundle it together. Yeah, they would get discount on the list price, but I would walk away from the show with cash. And they were stuck with inventory because they wanted to sell it for list price. No one's paying list price. Folks, no one is paying list price. No one. No one. You're not. Are you going to pay list price? No. No. You're looking at comps and going, well, I need to get it a little less than comps. Well, so then what's the point of the comps? The comps is just giving you an idea of like, okay, well, we're at this level and I'm going to pay a little bit less. And what dealers want is to pay a little less than that because they know they can't get list price. Where's the investment, folks? What are we talking about? So I just wanted to come on because I saw this video. I laughed. I was laughing hysterically. I was like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing in the world. Again, and also everybody's talking about dibs and everybody's talking about NFTs and fractional card markets. I'm telling you right now, don't do a fractional card market. Don't do an NFT. If you like digital cards, then buy digital cards, but they're not worth anything. NFTs are a scam. It's a marketing gimmick. There's nothing wrong with the NFT. It's just not worth anything. That's what you got to understand. None of you understand the blockchain. I'm just going to tell you right now, none of you understand the blockchain. You have no idea what it is. Because if you did, and you were smart, you wouldn't have invested in FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, which hopefully none of you did. Because all of you blockchain people just lost billions of dollars because FTX was a complete scam. That guy's going to jail for a long time. So that's the blockchain for you. So great. Decentralization. Yeah, with no regulation, no oversight, and literally you can just steal the money off the blockchain. It doesn't matter that you know where the money went. Well, yes, but you see the ledger. Okay, well then you know exactly who stole the money. Doesn't prevent corruption, doesn't prevent theft, it doesn't prevent somebody like Sam Bankman-Fried to just steal all the money. It doesn't prevent crime. It just means that you know who did it. Wonderful. So SBF is going to jail because he used the blockchain. See, he was the biggest idiot because he should have known off the blockchain, everybody would know it was him. Smart, right? You guys you're trying to be too clever. Stop trying to be too clever. It's very simple. This channel, buy, sell, collect. If you buy and hold, you're a collector because you're not going to sell those cards for what you think they're worth. And if you collect more than 10,000 cards, you're a hoarder, just like me. I don't know how this guy has over 2,000 subscribers. I'm just, who's watching this garbage and hitting the subscribe button? I'm watching it, I'm not subscribing. I'm watching it because I'm laughing, but I'm not hitting the subscribe button. You guys watch my channel, you don't hit the subscribe button, and I don't put out crap. Oh my God. But is that what I need to do on YouTube? I need to put out just complete garbage and you guys will hit the subscribe button? I'm not asking you to do that. I want you to subscribe if you want to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, don't subscribe. I don't care. I'm on YouTube just to have fun. I collect cards because it's fun. I go to card shows because I like meeting people. I like talking about cards. I like talking about sports. I've been talking about sports my whole life. For most of you don't know, I was a sports broadcaster when I was in college, and a year after that, I was the play-by-play announcer for the Boston Blazers lacrosse team, the professional lacrosse team. Yes, in Boston. So, yeah, I have, audio. If you guys want to hear audio, put it in the comments. I'll do a video with my audio. I called, my friend, my colleague, or I guess classmate from college, made it to the majors. I called his baseball games in college. I've done a lot. My whole point is that you guys need to just get over the investing thing. Just forget about it. There's no investment. It's just gone. Buy, sell, collect. That's it. It's very simple. Just have fun. That's what this is. It's a hobby for fun. It should be a hobby for kids. If you have kids, if you're a parent, if you're a mom, you're a dad, you have kids, show them your collection. Explain to them the sports. Things are way different in 2023 than they were back in 1990. Way different. And forget about going before 1990. So if you're a parent, talk about what it was like back in 1995 and 1996, before 9/11, before, right after the strike ended in 94, and before, the whole PED controversy in baseball, before everybody started juicing. What was it like? And tell your kids about that, because that's what this is. It's a hobby to start a conversation. That's literally all it is. You have a card, somebody else likes sports, you can talk about sports. This is a way to start conversations. Hopefully I'm having a conversation with you. That's my hope. But again, thank you for joining. I'll see you in the next one.